Welcome to another tutorial. My name is Lineke Lijn and let's get started. We are going to draw the water drop, and well, it's very nice to do because it's very simple. And all you need is a graphite pencil and an eraser pencil. You can also have an eraser cut and then have a sharp point on it. So that's easy to do. And little blender sticks. And of course for the fine details you can use a filling pencil or really sharpened pencil. So this is the drop we're going to draw. This is not so nice, but here I'm gonna demonstrate in real time how to draw this. You start out with a simple ellipse. Then you start drawing in lines. The lines come from the back to the front. And as you move forward, you try to press a little bit harder each stroke that is coming towards you. Once you have these, you can put in the vertical lines. Now for these vertical lines, I use the same method. I press really light at the back and then press harder as I come down to the front. Of course, you leave the drop itself open. So simply press harder as you move downwards. Now it's time to put in the lines on the drop itself. Because the drop is a kind of a sphere, I place the lines in a sphere angle. Once you have this, you can put in a little circle underneath the water drop for the shadow. Now you darken this in. I press really light, and for this drawing I'm using a pastel pencil, but you can also do this of course with a simple graphite pencil. It's no problem. Now it's time to blend in the shadow underneath the water drop. You have all kinds of blender sticks with different kinds of thickness. You can use whatever is most to your liking. Now I simply start blending in the powder, if you like, into the paper. It gives a real nice and soft effect, and if you do not have those blender sticks, you can also use an ear stick, what you use for cleaning your ears. And what I also place in is a little bit of shadow for the inside of the water drop. You can imagine that the surface of the table is kind of shining through the water drop. So I simply place it in. But I keep in mind that the bottom line of the water drop itself stays white. Now that I have this, I can place the darkest shadow directly underneath the water drop, extra dark. The light is coming from behind the water drop, so directly underneath the water drop itself, there's a real dark shadow where the light cannot penetrate through the water. Now this very dark shadow I blend in again. I make sure that the powder of my pencil is really getting into the paper. Now for the inside of the shadow itself, I use the eraser pencil again to put in little dots of light that shine in the shadow. The water itself is reflecting little light dots in the shadow part. So I simply erase out little white dots. Now on top of the water drop, I also place in bright shiny surfaces. Maybe there's a window on the back, and the window is casting a little bit of light on the drop. So, well, you can put in all kinds of light reflections. And I would recommend making more drawings of the same drop and experimenting with different kinds of reflections on the drop. It's very nice to place those drawings next to each other and then see what kind of reflections work best for you or what you like the best. Now it's time for my filling pencil. You can make the water drop as shiny as you want. What I'm doing here is putting in little detail, make the roundness of the drop even a little bit better, and put in tiny, very soft shadows on the drop, but also on the inside of the drop. It is like you can look inside of this water bubble a little bit. You can refine this, of course, as much as you want. You can even put in little tiny details of maybe trees or whatever you want to reflect in that drop. But I'm keeping this one really simple. It's very basic and it is very nice study for a beginner artist, or if you are for the first time trying to get shine and to work with shadows and blending. Okay, well, as I was saying, you can detail this as much as you want, but make sure to press really soft on your pencil. Here, for the front of the sheet where the drop is lying on, I place in whoa, hello. Oh, that's my cat again. He's standing in the light. Oh dear. Go away. I'm sorry. as I was saying, the front of the sheet, and I make the line extra dark so that it really pops up in front. If you have pollution on your drawing, you can always erase it out so that it's not so smudged and so greasy looking. So clean it up if necessary. Also, it brings out better the shadow that the water drop is casting on the paper. And for the background, I erase a little bit of the lines so it really seems that the light is coming from behind. Of course, you can always use at the end your fingers for smearing out a little bit. But be careful because fingers are always a little bit greasy. So do not touch your drawing too much with your fingers. Here and there you can always add a little bit of detail. And the final touch I always do with a graphite, an HB filling pencil or an HB simple pencil that's really sharpened. So here's my water drop. I wish you all the luck in drawing this. It's a really nice study, and should you want to explore more of 3D drawing or shiny effects, I would like to recommend the tutorial I did in the left bottom. You can click there if you want to see more on how it's done. It's a, well, nice one too. Well, good luck, and I hope to see you again in one of my other tutorials. Bye bye and take care.